I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Dr. Fitz. Welcome to Psych Fitz, and we are going to talk about behavior modification and B.F. Skinner, the House Frederick Skinner. That's right. B.F. Skinner came up with behavior modification, and this is going to help you to understand behavior modification and how he shaped rats and how he expects it to shape people as well. So let's take a look at behavior modification and see what Skinner says. Now, I will tell you right now, it can be very confusing, especially with the terminology. Look at this. The terminology that you need to know is going to help you. So you need to take notes on this. Positive means to present or to add. It's like addition. You're adding something. And that's the way you have to remember it. Sometimes the term positive is used and it's not a positive thing. So it's important to remember that positive only means to present or to give. Negative means to take away or subtract or remove. Now, there are going to be some things that we take away that won't be so bad. You escape something, you avoid something, you take it away, and that's not a bad thing. So negative simply means to subtract or remove something. Reinforcement increases behavior. What's a reinforcer for you might not be a reinforcer for me. So if a rat goes over and presses a bar and gets some food and presses a bar again, it's probably a reinforcer because he's increasing that bar pressing behavior. And then finally, punishment. Punishment decreases behavior. And so punishment is something where the rat presses a bar and he gets shocked, he's unlikely to press that bar again. So those are the four terms that you need to know. And there's four types of behavior modification. So let's take a look at each one and see what they mean. And hopefully we can apply them to real life situations. First, positive reinforcement is probably the easiest one to remember. There's plus R there to remind you of it. Give a stimulus that increases the behavior. You're giving something good. Examples. Nice job, Billy Bob. Way to go. Verbal praise. Verbal praise is a positive reinforcement. You give verbal praise to a child or to a person, and they're likely to try that behavior again. A gold star in school, a high grade, attention is probably one of the most powerful reinforcers out there. Giving attention to someone can be very, very powerful. In fact, the reinforcement, the positive reinforcement and attention that some bad students get from fellow students can be stronger than anything the teacher can do. Finally, a warm fuzzy. This is an example of a warm fuzzy. If you go to a workshop, sometimes they tell the warm fuzzy story, and the idea is that you say something nice to somebody, and then they'll say something nice to someone else. And what you do is you take one of the warm fuzzies off and you tie it onto their little necklace, and then you say something nice, and they do the same. And the world becomes a beautiful place with flowers growing and so forth. Positive reinforcement, easy to know. Next, negative reinforcement. Taking away an aversive stimulus causing an increase in the response. Remember, negative means to take away. It doesn't mean a negative experience. So we're taking away an aversive, which means bad, stimulus. Examples, escape or avoidance conditioning. Down on the slide here, you'll see that there's a picture of a rat in a cage with a little door in there. And that rat is sitting on one side of the cage. A light comes on and then a shock begins, and the rat runs through that little doorway to get to the other side. That's escape behavior. He's removing the bad stimulus. He's going to increase his running behavior with that light coming on. When the light comes on and he avoids the shock altogether and runs away, that's avoidance conditioning, which is negative reinforcement. I can get him to run through the door by giving him food on either side, which is positive reinforcement, or having him remove the shock. I can get a rat to bar press to increase his behavior to get food, or I can get him to bar press to turn off a shock. Both will increase the behavior, okay? Example in your life might be increased freedom or removal of restrictions after grades or appropriate behavior increases. If your car keys are taken away or you're grounded, if some type of restriction is taking place, your parents say raise your grades and those restrictions be removed. The way they phrase that is very important. It becomes a negative reinforcement issue. You're likely to raise the grades. You could raise them for money, or you could raise them to get rid of the restriction. Either one will increase behavior. Good. Next, very confusing, positive punishment. There's nothing positive about it. Plus means add. We're giving something bad to decrease a behavior. Examples, a scolding. Your parents are yelling at you. You're a bad kid. They're lecturing you, and you have to sit there and take it. That's positive, that's punishment. You're giving something bad to somebody to change behavior. A spanking, shock for a rat, lecture from parents. You look at the little cage there, there's a shock grid on the bottom. If the rat bar presses and gets shocked, he's not likely to bar press again. It's positive punishment. He's going to decrease that behavior. Okay? So that's positive punishment. Again, it's kind of confusing with the term, but just remember that the plus sign means that you're giving something to decrease behavior. Sometimes they've even called it punishment 1. Finally, negative punishment, minus P, also known as omission training because it's so confusing. You're taking away, negative, you're taking away something good, causing a decrease in the response. And I bet this is one that you can think of a lot of examples on in your own life, such as you're grounded. Being grounded is taking away your other drug-crazed hoodlum youth friends that you really like. They're taking away something that you like that you think is good. Being grounded, not being able to be your friends, not being allowed to watch TV or play video games or having any dessert, being suspended from school. Well, actually, being suspended from school is supposedly negative punishment. You see, there's some kids who don't like school. So if you take it away, are you taking away something good or bad? If there's no consequences at home and they get moved from school, they're likely to keep removing themselves from school and increase that bad behavior. So it all depends on the point of view. So negative punishment, removal of something good to decrease behavior. Now at the bottom of the slide it says suspensions, detentions, and jail sentences. All of those must be presented somehow. The judge, you go in front of the court, 10 years in jail. He has to give you the sentence, but the actual sentence is taking away your freedom. Suspensions, taking away your freedom. Detentions, taking away your freedom to go home or sleep in on a Saturday morning. They must be presented to you somehow, but they're really taking something away. Okay, negative punishment. So anytime you see suspension, detention, and jail sentence, assuming that you like school and you like being free, it's going to be a negative punishment. They're taking away something good. Good. Now, this chart I'm about to show you will help you. If you just remember this chart, you'll be fine. Take a look. I want you to write down positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment, and draw a line between them. And put a little arrow for reinforcements going up and punishments going down. So remember which way the behavior is supposed to go. We'll make it real simple. Positive means to give. So by positive reinforcement and positive punishment, put give. Negative means to take away. So we're going to put take next to the negatives. So now it's real simple. What do we give to increase behavior? We're going to give something good. Positive reinforcement, you're giving something good to increase the behavior. Negative reinforcement, we're going to take something away to increase the behavior. What are we taking away? We're taking away something bad. Positive punishment means that we're going to give bad to decrease behavior. We're giving something bad. Rat gets a shock, he decreases his behavior. Taking away good is also how we're going to decrease behavior. You're grounded. They're taking away something good, which is your friends. That'll decrease behavior. If you can remember this chart, you'll be golden. You'll be able to write it down on the corner of tests and things like that, and you'll be pretty good. So let's try some application. Here's some examples. And notice that I have the chart up in the corner. Some parents give kids $50 for every A, $40 for every B, $30 for every C. These are lucky children. And so it was that positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, positive punishment, or negative punishment. Next example, if you don't finish your P's, no dessert. Are they giving or taking something away? You're grounded, giving or taking something away. A rat presses a lever and receives a shock. Your car keys are taken away because of poor grades. Your P's, giving you a lecture about your behavior. P's are parents. It's a 70s term my friends and I used to use. A rat gets food when it presses a lever. A rat presses a lever to turn off a shock. The electric chair. All interesting examples. So you might want to pause this video and see if you can answer those and then check back with me. I will wait. All right, here we go. Every A you'll get $50. They're giving you something good. That's a positive reinforcement. So plus R is what you should have. If you don't finish your P's, no dessert. They're taking away something good. Taking away good is going to be negative punishment. You're grounded. They're taking away something good. Your friends, it's negative punishment away. A rat presses a lever and receives a shock. You're giving him something bad. It's going to decrease his behavior. Give bad, decrease behavior, positive punishment. Your car keys are taken away because of poor grades. They're taking away something good. That's negative punishment. Just check the chart. It's right there. Negative punishment, taking away something good. The P is giving you a lecture about your behavior. If they're yelling at you, they're giving you something bad. Give bad, positive punishment. A rat gets food when it presses a lever, positive reinforcement. You're giving it good. A rat presses a lever to turn off a shock. He's taking away the bad. He's going to increase his bar pressing behavior to keep those shocks turned off. So it's negative reinforcement. I know it's a confusing one, but he's going to increase bar pressing. And then finally, the electric shear is kind of tough. I mean, you're giving them a shock and you're taking away their life. Both are going to decrease behavior. On that one, I would accept positive or negative punishment because it's not really very clear. And that's it. You've done well. Good luck and see you in class.